My musical journey began on August 24th, 2000, when I was born at the ripe old age of 0 in Calgary. I was born into a pretty musical family. My mom is a French horn player. She went to U of T, and she played with the CPO a little bit, as well as the Red Deer Symphony. I started taking piano when I was 5 with a local teacher, Harriet Kanesh. I really did not like it in the beginning, because I could hear my mom play the piano beautifully, and I was stuck with hot cross buns and stuff, so I just never practiced. I never did any technical stuff, and I just hated it. I mean, I actually almost quit 2 or 3 times, but again, it was just my mom who sat me down and said, "No, you have to play your scales, you have to play etudes and stuff." So I started practicing a little bit more, and I enjoyed it a lot more too. Once I actually felt the results, I could start to read, I could start to play my stuff. Eventually, I started taking double lessons at the MRU Conservatory with Derek Stoll. And he's like a jazz guy, he plays with Mr. Harding and everything, but our focus quickly changed to composition and improvisation. I didn't do a ton of music in school through elementary. Like, I did the whole recorder nonsense, and that was fine. And I sang in the choir, but I sort of steered clear from that in school. And then I got to grade 7, and the band option started up. And my sister was actually a percussionist in the school we went to. I went to Weber. And she really liked it. And I saw her play the snare drum and stuff. I was like, hey, that's pretty neat. Band can often be a disgusting, barren, awful wasteland. Mr. Pierce, my teacher, ran a really tight ship. He made sure all the instruments were covered, and he made sure we practiced. I really want to say my beginnings in percussion was because I wanted to play the drums, but honestly, I just didn't want to blow into any instrument. I successfully fought off like 7 other people who wanted percussion spots, mostly through like mental intimidation, and I got, one of the 2 spots. I didn't actually know how to count or read music correctly from my older piano teacher, but being in band every day like really quickly got me up to speed in counting right. Eventually, like in grade 8 and 9, I played with the Senior High Wind Ensemble, and I got to go to New York, which is pretty cool. I took percussion lessons sort of on and off through junior high. I started with Rob Maciak and Mike Schuett, who were both at MRU. And then I dropped my older piano teacher and focused more on pushing like my boundaries with Derek. I actually auditioned for CYO in grade 8, but I did not make it. Watching the audition actually pushed me to practice a lot harder, and it closed up a couple technical deficiencies I had ignored until then. Even though I had a lot of friends at Weber, I knew I didn't want to stay through high school because the music program from grade 10 up was just non-existent. I think there's like 20 people in band. My district school was Central, and I auditioned for the PVA program and was accepted, but I knew from a lot of people I talked to that Western would be a pretty good choice. I actually went into Western in grade 9 to meet Mr. Hagen, who I expected to be like this wise, old, sort of English sub kind of guy by his reputation, but I was surprised and a little spooked at the intense little man who greeted me in his office. But I was really impressed by him, and I saw everyone sort of running around the band room while I was there, so in the end I declined Carroll and Central, and I started grade 10 at Western. Public school was a pretty big change, as I was used to like wearing these ugly uniforms and the private school life, I guess. To be honest, I thought that I was going to get beat up at public school. I had no idea what Western was going to be like. But I quickly found a place in the band program and got on my feet. I was really excited to be working with 15 other percussionists. And Mr. Ball was like a really good influence at grade 10 too, because he pushed my lacking junior high knowledge and made me a much better percussionist and musician. I also started in the jazz program with Mr. Harding in the junior jazz band and junior combo. In grade 10, I also joined the Calgary Stetson Show Band, which was another pretty big change, but I really liked the intensity of marching band. I learned a lot of new techniques there, like 4-mallet grips, and my playing got a lot better from frequent rehearsals. That year we went on tour to Wisconsin, Minnesota, which was 2016, and that was an awesome trip. It was basically just non-stop rehearsals and shows. I had to wear a pretty, ugly gnome outfit, but it's fine. And then in grade 11, I auditioned for and got into the Calgary Stampede Show Band, which is an awesome experience. I was surrounded by really amazing musicians and peers, and my chops got really strong and a lot better because of how frequent and intense rehearsals were. I really liked being in show band, but it was also pretty exhausting as well. I lost a ton of weekends and evenings in grade 11 to rehearsal, and my academics did lag a little bit, especially in second semester, because I was spending so much time in rehearsal or at lessons or practicing. By the end of the year, I was almost burned out, just in time for 42 straight days of band. We played at least 3 times a day, every 16-hour day during Stampede Week, which was fun, but just like sleep and everything. And then after that, we immediately left to Europe for a performance tour. But being really busy with band trip was a nice change from the stress of school. And the tour is one of my fondest memories ever. Like playing in a soccer stadium with thousands of people and having them on their feet at the end, I'm not going to forget that. Even though I really wanted to, I knew I couldn't keep going with show band. And I actually signed an agreement with my mom in April to make sure I wouldn't continue, because I knew as soon as I got back from tour, I'd be like, Mom, I want to do show band again. She's like, mm-mm. So yeah, we signed this thing. And of course, when I got back, I wanted to do it, but she said no, which is probably a good thing. Instead, for grade 12, I auditioned and got in, finally, to CYO. Back at school, my grade 11 year got a little bit hectic. I joined the band exec, which was really nice, actually. It was cool to have a taste of leadership. I also joined the senior jazz band and senior combo, and I started percussion lessons with Dr. Rod Squantz at U of C. So I had a lot on my plate in grade 11. But the problem is like before grade 11, Mr. Hagen sat me down. He's like, hey, you can do all these things, but make sure you don't take too much, because if you have too much on your plate, you're just not going to feel well. And I was like, no problem. I'll just do all these things, it'll be fine. But I just felt pretty tired all the time. Like, especially through second semester, I just felt like I wasn't doing quite enough in all my activities, not, helping enough in show band or an exec, which just made me feel stressed all the time. And I just I started not wanting to show up to school, and I just had so much stuff to do all the time, and I put myself in that position, which made me feel even worse, because it always felt like I was letting down the program. I was the one who was lagging behind. And this sort of combined with some unfortunate family events at the end of the year, and I kind of went off the deep end after I got back from Europe. I dropped a lot of my commitments going into grade 12. I actually dropped exec, I dropped combo, I dropped some lessons. And as soon as I got back, I immediately regretted this. It was terrible, actually. I tried to get back on the horse. It wasn't really until about January that I felt good about school and music again. Broadly, grade 12 has been a much better and balanced year. I have enough time to get work done at school, and I have enough time to practice. Next year, I'm heading to the University of Toronto for a Bachelor of Music in Performance. I'm really excited for the challenge. I'm a little bit scared of the city and the competition, but I'm pretty sure that the bullying in the school will help me just be a better musician and everything. Now, a couple of thank yous. Huge thank you to my mom for being my musical inspiration and helping me practice and keeping me on track. Without her, I totally would have quit piano. I don't think I would have done band. I don't think I would have been, going into music next year. She was always there for me when it's been tough, and she's pushed me through any challenges in school or music, so thanks, Mom. Thanks to my dad and my sister and the rest of my family for coming to as many concerts as possible. Thanks to my private teachers for kicking me in the butt when I needed it and preparing me for music school next year. Without them, again, I wouldn't be going away. And thanks to the fine arts staff at the school, Mr. Harding and Ms. Reinhardt, for broadening my musical horizons and bearing with my horrible schedule for 3 years. A huge thank you. Biggest thank you to Mr. Hagen for being my mentor and my guiding light during high school. Seriously, without the prep chats in your office or you yelling at me to get my act together for auditions, I really would not be going away next year. Most importantly, I think you've taught me not only to respect other people's time by being punctual and prepared, but to respect my own time as well. It took me 2 years to figure it out, but you're 600% correct when you say it's way better to be really good at a few things than mediocre at a lot of things. And I'm kicking myself because I didn't appreciate this until it was a little bit later. When I go through university and become a professional one day, I hope to be a tenth of who you are, and you mean the world to the program. And of course, thanks to all of my friends and the people I've met through band in high school. You guys are wonderful and amazing, and I'm kind of pissed that I only am meeting a lot of you in grade 12 because I was super busy in grade 10 and 11. I don't think I appreciated what the school, what this band program had to offer until grade 12. So I'm sorry if I just ran into you this year, but if I've met you, you are a ray of sunshine. Thanks for that.